Hello Mr. Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. Now today we have another episode of Decent Defeats. Now this is actually number 13 of the series, so we have managed to get quite a few episodes out of this series. I hope you enjoy them. It's been a little while since we got the last one out and I've got 3 replays to show you today. The first one is in the Tier 8 American medium premium tank, the Astron Rex, the sort of 5-shot stealthy, fairly mobile autoloader medium tank. Now this is a Tier 9 lobby. We are platooned up with our good pal Swindle 321, and there is 2 enemy fun police and there is 3 enemy light tanks, I believe, in this lobby. So from this spawn, I'm going to go and try and push a spot I like to take quite a lot in a mobile medium, and that's sort of the K2 area. See if we can get any cross shots and work out what to do from there. Swindle's in the heavy tank and he's actually gone to the other side, and yeah, we're just going to get to the location, work out what's what, and yeah, then go from there really. I like to take this location at the start, but what's actually happened is an enemy light tank has pushed across very aggressively, which is going to prevent us using this position. But one of our medium tanks is already over there, and I'm decided I'm just going to go in and see if I can actually help my friendly tank there in the stone cold, see if there's anything I can do to save him. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to be possible for me to do, but I might be able to at least take out this light tank and clear out one of the enemy light tanks from the game. And we do manage to do that, and we don't eat any shots in return. There is a G-saw looking at us. Now that's obviously very dangerous, TD. I want to get out of that, as clear from that as quickly as possible. I do that, and now I'm on to a full reload, waiting for my tanks to my shells to go in before I can start doing some more damage. I was kind of thought at this point maybe there wasn't that much coming, so I was going to pop forward and just spot the tanks to get as much early information as possible. We do spot a couple of tanks, and now I'm going to push back into our location so I can try and get some side shots into these tanks approaching us. We've got an enemy Tiger 2 there, which we spotted on the hill. Unfortunately, we do get lit in return, so we need to watch out we don't eat any damage if we're staying out there in the open too much. But the enemy T10 is full sended into our heavy, and I need to try and keep them safe. Try and get a shot. Unfortunately, it kind of gets blocked by my friendly teammate, but our friendly fun police takes out that T10 and eliminates that problem. Going to try and dump my remaining shells into this Tiger 2. We go for the blind because we're going to go into a reload anyway. We do that, and now I'm going to push forward and try and spot them again, and just work out what we've got left to deal with. We do spot some tanks, but an enemy light tank actually spots us as well because it comes quite close, and that light tank is going to be a little bit of a nuisance sort of full sending around there, because it's going to mean it's harder for me to push forward, and ideally I need to take out that tank before I can progress. We do pick up a bit of assistance damage for spotting up those. We had a decent start. We picked up 1,000 assistance, 1,000 damage and a kill. We do still have our hit points. We're trying to feed in shots into this light tank, but obviously every time I'm poking it's keeping me detected, and I know there is tanks which could potentially shoot me, so I've got to be very careful of that. But at this point I think Swindle's saying to me that it's not necessarily going that great on their side. They don't really have any vision, because unfortunately I think our light tanks have been destroyed, so they don't really have any vision on that side of the map. Now I'm kind of stuck in a position, yes, I could go back over to the other side, but I've also got to try and deal with this side too. So at this point I'm just trying to see if we can take out that light tank. Looking for shots where I can, but it's driving quite erratic, so it's making it very difficult. But the Tiger 2 gets detected, so hopefully we should be able to take out this Tiger 2. We've got enough shots to do that if he stays detected. He's now one shot to us. We're going to look to try and get the finish, but he just gets shut down by our friendly fun police before we can pull the trigger. But at least that tank's now dead. It's now into a 10 versus 8. I'm going on a reload again. This light tank is causing us all sorts of issues because we're struggling to push forward. I really just want to clip this tank out now and get rid of the enemy vision, because I believe that is the last enemy light tank alive. So we do get rid of that. It's, as always, it's going to be very helpful. But now Swindle's saying he really needs my help, so I'm going to start making my way over to that side and then I'll have to deal with this side later. But as that happens, the Patriot gets spotted. Now I can't miss an opportunity to take out a full health tier 8 tank. Got to try and get my shots in. Thankfully he misses me there. I get one in. I'm looking then to try and potentially get the finish, looking for the kill, but it bounces. He misses as well, and then he gets shut down by our friendly SU. We go on to a reload, and now we're going to try and full send over to see if we can get some vision for our team on the other side. Unfortunately, I may have left it a little bit too late, but there's not, because they're going to get quite close to our base now. But there's not a great deal I could do about it. I was trying to fight this side as well. If I'd have left earlier, then I wouldn't have been able to get that damage into that enemy Patriot. But I'm going to try and push over to try and help my team. The Dragon is coming behind. Unfortunately, Sai has now got taken out. And I'm a little bit surrounded because we don't really have any map control whatsoever. And because of that, we're starting to lose tanks. It's in a 5 versus 9. I'm just checking the hit points for some of these tanks though, just to check if they are low health. Obviously, you've got lots of low health tanks, and I can potentially clip them out in one clip. I'm going to look to try and get a shot into this Dragon as he approaches. We get him to set them on fire, picking up a kill. But now I've got the enemy thumb police trying to ruin my day. They're aiming on me, and I need to try and escape. We're now into a 3 versus 7. So we are up against it. We got this Astron Rex, which is probably a 2-shot to us now, or 1 shot if we maybe roll really well. But we're looking to try and get the finish, and it's not quite possible. But now I'm on reload. Unfortunately, I kind of poke a bit silly there, and I eat a shot, which was probably unnecessary. But we're in a 2 versus 7, or 2 versus 6 now, and it's far from ideal. But we know that Astron Rex is, potentially a 2-shot to us. We can deal with that tank later. I'm going to try and kill this light tank while he's trying to kill our friendly tank destroyer, so I can get rid of that tank. I need to take tanks out of the game, and obviously I'm quite a stealthy medium, so if I can get rid of their vision, it's going to come in very helpful. Unfortunately, they do still have an enemy Barras, which is basically a light tank. The light tank now does kill our friendly tank destroyer, but leaves me in a 1 versus 6. I've got to try and deal with this light tank. I'm going to try and push him. Our tank destroyer thankfully got a shot into them, so the light tank is a 1-shot to us now. So hopefully we can take this tank out. Unfortunately, it's looking like he's given us a slip. He's got out of there rather than chase them, because I know the enemy team aren't capping, because they haven't got in the cap circle yet, which means they probably are on their way to destroy me. So I'm going to try and just relocate now, get out of there, get to a different location, and then try and use our vision so I don't get surrounded and suddenly fighting 6 tanks at once. But I get cut off by this Astron Rex. I get 1 shot into them. I've eaten 1 shot, but I should get the finish. That's 1 tank dealt with. Now the fun police are, full aiming on me. But at this point, I'm thinking, I can just get out of there. It is possible that I could win this game and get the collies here, because there's a lot of tanks which are very low health. We know the light tank is a 1-shot, and we also know from talking to Swindle that Concept 1B is also a 1-shot. So that's 2 1-shots, and then 2 of the other tanks are fun police. This Barras here is also a 1-shot, which means it is winnable. This is a winnable game. The problem I've got is I'm getting slapped by the fun police, and it's making it very, very awkward to try and fight tanks and get shot by the artillery here. I really need to get out of there, but I'm not going to have the speed to escape this Barras now. I'm trying to kill this Barras. I'm expecting the light tank's going to come out of anywhere, somewhere soon. He does. There's a light tank. Barras comes in. We eat 1. We get 1 in. The enemy light tank now comes around. We do squeeze that 1 in. It's now 1 versus 3 with 1-shot Concept B. If I can escape here, lose my spot, get out of there before the Concept 1B gets to me, I've got a great chance of winning the game because I can use my vision. But I'm trying to lose my spot here. I just lose it, and I was just about to go and escape, and the Concept B comes round and finishes me off. I needed probably another 10-15 seconds there, and then I would have escaped from the heavy tank, and I probably could have gone on to win the game. But as it is, I didn't have that time. Not a lot I could do about it, but we do pick up 5 kills, 4,000 damage, high caliber, and that is the first, replay for decent defeats. Small things there, you know, if I just had a little bit more time at the end, I could have got out, used my vision, and then I could have out-spotted the heavy tank, dealt with the heavy tank, and then dealt with the artillery. But anyway, that's it for replay number 1, so let's move on to the next replay. Okay, so here we are for the replay number 2 on Himmelsdorf. We are in the French AMX AC 48 Tectri tank destroyer. We are on Himmelsdorf. It is tier 8 lobby. Obviously Himmelsdorf is not the ideal map to be playing a tank destroyer like this, but being top tier, that does help us quite a lot. There's 2 enemy fun police in. There's a few, 3 enemy light tanks. We've come here at the start to try and punish people down the 3 line. See if we can get an early damage in with our cross shots. Unfortunately, this light tank's full sending us. We missed 1 shot, which was a bit silly, but thankfully we still managed to pick up the kill there with a little bit of help from our friendly team. Taking out a light tank nice early doors while we go on our reload before we decide what we're going to do now. But it looks like a lot of our friendly team are actually starting to push down this line. So I'm going to use that as a window opportunity to actually try and push down the tracks as well, to try and get closer to the enemy. Now, naturally, also, you know, tank destroyer, you think you want to sit there and snipe, you know. But because we're top tier, it does make a difference, because I can actually push, and with the clip potential of this tank, just eliminate a tank and then go on reload. And I want to do that because a lot of our team's pushing forward, and I don't feel like I'm going to get the shots just sitting there being patient, and I kind of need to make the damage happen for myself. So I'm pushing forward with my team. I was hoping to try and take out this Barras, but you know, I haven't got turrets. It's not really going to be possible for me to just swing around and get a shot in there without eating loads in return. So I just decided to dump my full clip into that Tiger and put another tank onto a 1-shot while I'm on reload here, because the Barras, it's not easy for that Barras. You know, Barras could potentially full send round and put 2 shots into us, but because he's on low hit points and I've got tanks covering me, he probably doesn't really want to do that, basically. Now I'm on reload. I don't want to waste a shell on this Barras. It's very low health, so I was going to try and ram him, but I managed to just side sweep there and take out the Barras. Now I'm going to push forward to try and get into the enemy team here, because a lot of the enemy team are on the hill. I want to try and deal with these tanks while they're potentially not looking at me, not paying attention. So I'm trying to get my 2 shots in. We take out 1 fun police. We're going to get a shot into the other one, and with the help of my other friendly tank destroyer, we take them out. It's at this point, it's looking like it's you know, fairly close. You know, we're actually, you know, 8 versus 7 here, but the enemy team have now won the hill, which means they're going to come off of that hill and potentially either come back to defend the base or just push into our base to kill our friendly fun police. But we're almost in reload, and there's still tanks here to deal with. I've decided that, you know, I want to try and push into this position on the left, try and get in there quickly so I can use the window to then try and deal with the enemy tanks in front of us. Hopefully I can then, you know, get some shots in and take out this defender here, because obviously that's a very, you know, 2-shot to us and a dangerous tank. So we're looking to try and get some shots in there, get into position to take some shots. We haven't really got really many good shots, but we can pen the cupola. So we're looking to try and get that one in. We do pen the cupola with the first shot, but hopefully now we can get the second one in, but it just goes high. So we need to wait to see if we can finish with the third, which we do, picking ourselves up another kill, putting us on to 3,400 damage. But now the enemy team are applying the cap pressure. Realistically, I'm not going to get back at this stage, so I just, at this point, I'm thinking, look, I need to get my reload in, get as much damage out as you can, because there's no way I can actually get back in time to get the resets. But then the enemy team, one of them gets off the caps, and now I'm thinking, right, let's kill this tank, and I've got a chance actually now. You know, I've got a lot more time to play with. I was going to reload that final shell, but I spotted another 1-shot tank, and because it's a 2 versus 5, I want to get rid of as many tanks as I possibly can. So I'm looking for the shot. We do manage to squeeze it in, and now we're on reload. Technically, at the moment, the enemy team actually need to come for us because we're winning on the cap circle. But I still think now I've probably got time to get back and get that reset. So that's what I was going to do. But as that happens, we spot an enemy T20, which is far from ideal. And I'm getting pushing from behind as well. So I really need our heavy tank to hold off for as long as possible so I can deal with these medium tanks. Unfortunately, our heavy tank gets taken out. We've got enough time to deal with this T20, which is going to leave us with one shell. And now I need to hope that they're really low hit points behind us, because I'm in a 1 versus 3, trying to turn round. I got shot, didn't get tracked though, but now at this stage, I realise it's over. There's nothing I can do, which is a shame, because we have managed to pick up 7 kills and 5,000 damage. But it is what it is, and that is the end to the second replay. But we do manage to pick up 5 kills, 7,000 damage, and I think probably a little bit of assistance damage as well. And that brings us an end to replay number 2, but one more to come, so I'll see you over there in a little bit. Okay, so here we are for the final replay of the video. So we are here on Redshire in the Toxic Wagon. We are platooned up with Low-Key Pony. And yeah, I think there's 2 enemy fun police in the game, but no enemy light tanks. Now, we're going to push at the start to try and get to sort of the mid-ridge, see if we can spot some tanks, see if we can get any cross shots into the enemy, and just work out what's what. And then, as always, you know, just react to what we're going to see, basically. So that's our sort of starting location, which we usually use from this position. And then we sort of just react to what's going on and decide what we're going to do there. Whether it is we push, come back, you know, you can work that out as the game unfolds. But at the start, we're going to push, see if we can spot any tanks, and then to see if we can get any nice shots in, see if we can get any lovely little dirt pens in with this completely balanced and yeah, vehicle. So we're looking to see if we get some shots. We do get detected, which is obviously, you know, we've got to be careful of the fun police, basically. We're looking to see if we can get shots into this T30. Obviously it does have 10 degrees of gun depression, but not over the front of the tank. So it can be a little bit awkward to use in that scenario, but it's not that bad. We do get a little bit of assistance off that T30. We chance a shot, but you know, it was never really gonna. We're never really going to be able to get that one in, and we're just trying to work out what's what. But now we're getting detected by the fun police and targeted by the fun police, which is a problem for us because we're not exactly quick, we're not exactly mobile, you know, when we're in this situation, and we're just going to keep getting shot at by that fun police. But they haven't fired, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's my lucky day. Maybe they're just going to, you know, leave me alone so I can just go around derping. And we're looking to see if we can get any shots in. We haven't really got. We've got a lot of tanks in one location here, but the enemy team are kind of pushing up quite close and taking away a lot of control from us. And it's just forcing us to get shot at by the fun police, and it's a little bit awkward because I've not really got anywhere to poke at the moment. And if I stay where I am, the fun police is just going to continually shoot me until I'm eventually dead. So I've decided that I'm just going to move back and see what I can do. I was looking to see, you know, it looked like our heavy flank was a little bit weak. I wanted to see if anything was pushing around to attack them there, because there's only sort of one tank there, and the rest of our tank are kind of on the hill. But as you can see, a lot of the enemy force is this way. And I can't really play that ridge anymore. You know, if it was no fun police in the game, I could just battle it out with them. But the problem I've got, there is the fun police there, and they're just going to continue shooting me, and it's going to be very, very awkward to actually do anything. So I've decided that I'm actually going to fall back, let the enemy team engage a little bit closer, start poking over those ridge, and then I'll just try and dirt them from a little bit more of a distance, because I felt like it's the safest thing to do. You know, I prefer just to be like battering it out in the front, but with these tanks pushing straight down that one line, we're getting a little bit surrounded in that position, and it's going to be very, very awkward. We look to try and lead a shot here into that Super Conqueror, but he kind of stops, but we do still manage to splash him for 200, tracking him in place, which means he actually then gets taken out by our friendly medium tank. Unfortunately, Loki gets Averied and gets absolutely slapped by the Avery, but the enemy team have now pushed into a zone, which is kind of like the kill zone where this Avery is here now, because we got shots of them from this location. You see, I derped a little shot in, just splashing him, and just trying to move now. I want to try and get into a position where I can kill the enemy tanks pushing down the one line, and try and deny them getting across into us, because once they get into us, it's going to be very awkward because we're going to get shot at by tanks on the hill, and we are losing, you know, a lot of map control here. You can see we're properly pinned into our base, which is far from ideal. We can see this AV is now one shot. We're looking to see if we can get the finish. We do. We connect. We get the finish, picking up a kill, picking up 1,000 damage, 1,000 assistance. Not a fantastic start to the game, considering we're like stuck in a location now where we don't really want to be in. The enemy are winning both sides of the map, and we're just trying to cling on to get as much out of this game as we can, you know, as it stands. It's looking like this medium tank was going to try and push around behind us. It's good, so it's going to come over this ridge. I'm going to aim in my shot so I can try and take out the kill as he does. We do pick up the kill, and now we're trying to keep ourselves hold down as best we can before we move out of this location. We can look to see now a lot of the tanks have kind of actually moved across. We know there is still tanks on the hill, at least, you know, a few tanks, and this enemy aviary, who is a derpable target for me now, one shot kill to us. We're going to try and deal. We aim for the cupola, and we do take out the aviary, picking up another kill, evening up the scores a little bit. And at this point, I'm thinking I'm going to push down the one line and try and then deal with the tanks which are on the hill in the middle, and see if we can get any side shots onto them and potentially get some, you know, depending on how lightly armoured they are, we may be able to actually pick up a pen. But as we do that, we spot another aviary who's also a one shot, which would obviously even the scores and take out a very dangerous, nasty tank. So we're looking to see if we can squeeze in the kill on this tank, but then it gets taken out, and we spot this poor here AMX, and we aim that shot and we slap that shot, and yeah, we set them on fire and just get like 1,800 damage out of one shot. Yeah, which is a nice result, and it means we kind of won that hill zone. But we do have two enemy fun police, and at this point I was thinking, oh, if our team can hold up for long enough on that right hand side, I can go and deal with the enemy fun police who are just going to be constantly pounding our team, which is spotted. I was in two minds, I must admit. I kind of thought about going in to try and help my team here. Maybe I should have, but I thought at this point I want to go and deal with the fun police, which, you know, is just going to constantly shoot at us, and then I can go back. But to be honest with you, that turns out to be a bit of a drive, and I'm not going to make you watch all of that, so I'm going to speed up this, give you a bit of music, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, we didn't find the fun police, but we're going to try now. You know, at this point our friendly team is capping, but I don't want to sit in that cap circle, mainly because you kind of sit and duck in that cap circle, and all, you know, with two enemy fun police, all they've got to do is light you up, get a shot and reset, and then if one of the other enemy teams starts capping our base, I'm never going to get back. And we know there is a tank near our base, and at this point we've driven around the whole map, so we're suspecting we can probably run into a fun police here. And there you go, someone's in the cap. Now, like I say, I didn't think sitting in the cap was the right decision, so I'm going to try and push around and try and get to our base, and see if we can, you know, try and pick up, you know, try and get some damage, because if it's one of the enemy fun police sitting in the cap, then we can one-shot them. And you know, you never know, we're in 2 versus 5, you never know what's going to happen. One of the enemy tanks is actually fighting our friendly tank at the base. We then spot one of the enemy fun police. We need to aim this, because we can pen this. We do, we pick up a kill, slap him for 1400 now on reload. Unfortunately, our friendly teammate does get taken out in the base, and we are actually on for the collies at this point. We get detected, but we lose our spot. I need to get back to the base. Now, I've got a hunch that the other tank in the base is the enemy fun police, because we spotted, you know, the medium tank actually at the base, defending the base. It could be the enemy TD, but if it is the fun police, then we're going to be able to one-shot them. We now then spot the Jagdtiger, so now I'm very sure that it is the enemy artillery in this base, and we want to get over there and kill this fun police before the enemy Jagdtiger actually gets close enough to us, and that's why we didn't shoot that Jagdtiger there. We wanted to make sure we get the reset on the base. It is the enemy fun police. We can one-shot them. We need to aim this shot. He's looking like he's going to aim in the shot on us. We do take the kill, pick up the 5th kill, and then an enemy aviary comes into us kind of at the worst time, because now we've got to deal with this Yagi 100, which is potentially coming behind us here. Thankfully though, the enemy aviary derps their shell, face hugs us, and we actually can pen this cupola with the 185 rounds. We don't, but we do set them on fire, which actually goes on to damage the enemy tank's ammo rack. So we're potentially going to beat their reload again, because their ammo rack's damaged, and they obviously don't have the repair kit ready. So hopefully we might be able to pick up this kill before he gets to shoot us again. And we do just manage to squeeze that in. And this is where I then make a bit of a misplace, because the enemy aviary comes in. And this is fine, but then the enemy Jaeger E100 comes in as well. The enemy aviary shoots but doesn't pen. And now I'm thinking I've got enough time just to dart behind this enemy TD as he comes round, and then I'll be able to get behind and pen him, because I was under pressure with the enemy aviary. But as you can see, I clearly didn't have enough time, and that has just cost me the game, because I can't get round this tank. The other enemy aviary is going to shoot me if I can't get out, and I'd go for the track shot, but I get shot by the aviary. And like I say, that was a misplay. I wanted to get behind them because I was under pressure of the other aviary coming around the right hand side, but I really wish I didn't do that, because it has just cost me a collies. But you know, we're human, we make mistakes, and I made a mistake there, and that brings, you know, unfortunately we don't get the victory because of that, which is a real shame. But we do still have a decent game. We get 6 kills, 9,000 damage, 1,600 assistance, kill the 2 fun police and get the defender medal. But it could have been so much more. Yeah, it could have been so much more, and it is a real shame that, because I could have had an over 10k game there with the collies. But I made a mistake. It is what it is. But I hope you've enjoyed this decent defeat series. Thank you so much for your support. It's been amazing. And as always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!